Hello everyone and hi. Sorry that I made this video a bit late. So for our chapter 2, the topic that we will be talking about is communication and also personal identity. So when we are talking about personal identity, obviously we are talking about how we develop our inner self and how we present ourselves to the general public as well. So every person have their own personality. For example, the picture that I'm showing you on the first slide is how a person view himself, and maybe this person, the person inside the mirror is blaming him for something. So how you perceive yourself as being viewed to the public also can help to measure your personality and also your self development. Okay. So what is the self? Okay, kalau when we talk about kalau about when we talk about personality, we know that it is a multi-dimensional process of internalizing and acting from social perspective. Okay, so self ni can be developed when you see yourself in the public, how you see yourself in the public, how people see yourself in the public, and also how those who are very close and not close see yourself in the public as well. So how you present yourself can also help to shape your personality. All right, although personality is something which is we can say it is um, inner projection. Okay, personality is inner projection, but still sometimes bila kita go to the public, when we face people, we tend to make ourselves we tend to make ourselves fulfilling to others, cuba nak puaskan how people view us. Okay, so how we see ourselves depends on the culture in which we live in. Okay, if we are living in a culture which is very open, maybe we can be we can practice things or do things or wear clothes and also do our daily activities that we like. But if we are living in a culture which is very strict or maybe a bit judgmental, maybe if you don't like to wear kopiah, somehow you have to wear kopiah as well. All right, for example, things like that. So self arises in communication with others. All right. So the self itself can be developed via the perspective of particular others and also perspective of the generalized others. So what is particular others? Particular others are the perspective from the people who are significant in your life, or who are, who matters to you: family, friends, colleagues, coaches, your partners, husband, wife, girlfriends. Those who matters to you, play important role in your life, those are the particular others. Whereas the generalized other are more of just the generalized public who doesn't really play much role in your life. Those who you can just say hi and bye. Okay, people who comes and go, but still we sometimes we tend to fulfill uh, their perspective in a way of projecting ourselves. All right, so particular others are specific people who are significant to us, such as family and friends. Okay, not just restricted to family and friends. Yeah, of course, your partners, girlfriend, BFF, your coaches, if you have what you call that, your colleagues, your manager, your bosses. All right. So in the perspective of particular others, there are a few traits. Okay, ada beberapa ciri, a few traits that are being used by particular others. All right, to assign or to help you project. Right, it's just not helping you to project, but it can also help you to choose. Okay, what kind of identity, what kind of personality you can portray. Okay, number one, the first trait is direct definition. Okay, for instance, you are labeling yourself, or not you, people are, these particular others are labeling us and our behavior. Okay, for example, when we have little kids, they are very mischievous, nakal, jahat, main tu main ni, jahat lah budak ni. This boy is very naughty. So you are giving direct definition, straight away labeling themselves as having that personality. Okay, and then reflected appraisal or self fulfilling prophecies. from the way people view yourself, okay, you tend to have a few expectation, or you tend to have a few purposes, okay, or you can say you okay, people always say that I'm very naughty. Okay, am I that naughty? Should I be that naughty? Okay, so you have already projected how you should portray yourself in the upcoming future. Okay, because people say that you are acting this way, so you think you must keep on acting this way. All right, social comparison. So you assessing yourself, or assessing ourselves in relation to others, and of course you always compare yourself to others. For example, am I good enough, am I good looking enough like Hafiz, am I beautiful enough like Maria, am I good at football enough like David Solomon, am I talkative enough like Mr. Ho, things like that. Okay, so you keep on comparing yourself. All right. So it is actually like you putting your perception, your perception of others' views. Okay, so how you think others will appraise you affects how you see yourself. Okay, kalau you think that people see you like this, awak rasa orang ingat awak jahat, maka jahatlah awak, things like that. Alright, you are not having a direct definition of yourself, but because people put their perspective in that way to yourself, so you will think that you should act like that. Alright, and then of course, social comparison again. You compare yourself whether you are like them or different to them, the people that you are comparing, or you measure yourself and your ability with others. Of course, comparing your ability with others. Am I good enough playing guitar like Jimi Hendrix and things like that? Okay. All right. And then identity scripts. So identity scripts, it defines our roles or how we fulfill them and the general progression of our life. Okay. For instance, you have been brought up in a very well-mannered family, or a very pious family. You always go to the mosque, to the church, to the temple. So you have to keep on practicing that kind of identity in almost all of your life, because you are already given that scripts. Okay, you are a family of academic performers. All right, so you have to fulfill that particular scripts throughout your life. Okay, and then we have the attachment styles, and in attachment styles um, there are a few style of attachment. So attachment styles are usually projected by parents, okay, when they are trying to mold or to shape, okay, nak membentuk anak-anak, their children, but it will be affected by this kind of attachment style. So how you mold your children depends on how you are attached to them. So first we have the secure attachment, which is the most positive one. So the caregiver or the parents will respond in a consistently attentive and loving way to the child. So the child will be taken care of. Dia akan rasa disayangi. They will have the most attention, and this will help to build a good character or good self in the future. Or fearful attachment is style which is cultivated or which is built when the caregiver in the firstborn. Firstborn here means your mom and dad. Maybe biological, but it doesn't have to be biological mom and dad. Sorry, sorry. Those who take care of you since you were a child, since you were a child. So they communicate in a negative, rejecting, or even abusive way to the child. So it will make you have this kind of uh, it will shape you into a person maybe which is not always feel insecure, or always feel threatened, not doesn't have the feeling of security in the future. And then the dismissive attachment, whereby this style is also promoted by caregivers who are disinterested or rejecting or abusive towards children. So when you have the kind of dismissive attachment, they doesn't really portray you as their responsibility. They dismiss you from their life, Whereas for fearful attachment, they make you feel insecure because you are living in this fearful kind of environment with your caregivers or your parents, all right. And then the last one will be anxious or ambivalent attachment, whereby you will feel uncertain of which approach to follow. So this type is the most complex one because it is fostered by inconsistent treatment from the caregiver. Sometimes they are being attentive, they take good care of you, they are being loving, but sometimes they are very abusive as well. Some sort of having a complex personality or complex way of treating you when you were a child or treating the children. Okay, so from here we can say that the best attachment style in promoting or molding personality in the future will be the secure attachment. All right. So generalize others, which is different from the particular others, those who the views which are generally held by others in society, those who doesn't play a significant role in your life. So the important categories influencing identity here includes race, gender, sexual orientation, and also socio-economic class. So how do we define the perception of generalized others? For instance, we can see race sometimes play a role in promoting or projecting your self perception, because sometimes people always think that this race is better than this race that gets more than this race and things like that. So um, this particular generalized perception can help to mold your personality when you are growing up, especially when children are growing up. For instance, they don't mix around with other races, so they when they have to mix around or have to do things with other races, they will feel insecure or they will feel a bit uncomfortable and things like that. So in terms of gender, we can see this is very general. Sometimes people always put male apart from female. They think that male are more superior than the female and things like that. So um, this will cause you to develop some sense of personality. Maybe a female will feel insecure when they are growing up if they don't get married at a certain particular point of age, because they know that this particular age is not gonna get it's not easy to get partners and things like that. Sexual orientation, of course, nowadays we have the normal sexual orientation and also those who are practicing LGBTs and things like that. So people will discriminate you, and when you are being discriminated, your personality traits, your self projection will be limited. You will always feel again insecure, and you will not have the self esteem to present yourself in the public, as well as socio-economic class. This is a classic example that we always see in the Piramli movies. Okay, those who are very rich, very very well placed on top of the hierarchy of the society. Those who are poor doesn't really have much advantage, and consequently, when you are rich, you have more opportunities, you gain more knowledge and things like that. This is a classic example of how socioeconomic class are being portrayed and can help to mold your personality and yourself. All right. So how our perspective of the generalized others reveal to us? So when we learn them as we interact with others, all right, who have internalized culture values and pass them on to us. So when we interact with people who are categorized as generalized others, we tend to put ourselves into their perspective and also try to mold our personality according to what generalize others are trying to perceive us or view us. Okay, so these people apabila kita bergaul dengan dia ni, kita rasa kita kena go into their culture, go into their way of practice. Usually this happen in the workplace lah. Okay, when you go into one particular workplace, katakanlah contoh adik saya lah kan, dia company dia kena pakai loose sikit, kena pakai handshot and everything, whereas dia ni yang hore-hore sikit, things like that lah. So when you are put into that particular generalized other situation, you have to incorporate yourself in there as well to ensure that you are accepted, right? We learn them through media and institutions that reflect cultural values, and of course media play an important role in uh, helping you to put your personality or portray yourself, all right, in the public. Okay, so things which are not, for example, things which are not acceptable to the public, if you have that particular traits, things that are not, for example, in Kelantan we cannot, things that we cannot, maybe if in Kelantan for female they have to wear tudung, if not they will get fined and things like that. So we incorporate that particular practice into our self practice and portray ourselves like that, all right. So the institution that organize our society communicate the views of the general others by the values they uphold or reinforce. Okay, this is the same example as the one that I mentioned about wearing tudung in Kelantan. So you have to incorporate yourself into that particular generalized others punya perspective so that you will be accepted. When you are accepted, you will gain more influence and your self-esteem will increase and you can do more things in the public without having the feeling of insecure, all right. So other perspective of self, so we know that the self itself is multidimensional, ada macam-macam self ni, your personality, the way you portray yourself ni is, sometimes people have multiple personality. Okay, sometimes they can be very calm and then suddenly they can be very but they can have anger management and things like that, right? Because the self itself is a process. Okay, sometimes we progress or we learn by experience or by knowledge and things like that. Maybe previously we are a person who doesn't like to mingle a lot, all right, uh, always spend some time to ourselves, only ourselves. But now we are progressing into a complex person who likes to talk to others and things like that. So the social perspective are subject to change. Okay, so it is interchangeable. All right, so socially constructed views and also variable social views. So variable can change in times. Okay, so if you view people who are not wearing masks as being irresponsible in our current situation, yes, that will be accepted. All right, but if you are saying this like a year ago or 2 years ago, people will only say that apalah ni poyo lah pakai mask takut apa, things like that. All right, so socially constructed views and also variable social views will always change. Okay, and it will always affect how you project yourself. All right. And when you are presenting and negotiating yourself and you are portraying yourself in the public, Goffman identified two important social concepts regarding identity, which number one is the face, all right, your face. So the impression that we want others to have of us, how we show ourselves, we want that particular impression to be heard by other people, for them to have the same impression as us. Kalau kita rasa kita handsome, of course lah kita nak orang lain pun rasa kita handsome. Alright, so how you portray your face. Impression management, how you persuade or how we persuade others to see us as we want to be seen. Alright, sometimes people neglect us, maybe they don't see us that much or they think that we are not that important. But we try to persuade them in terms of showing good values. Maybe in the office you can be a bit extra hardworking, make yourself more presentable, alright? So you will change people's impression about yourself, alright? And also social media and personal identity, of course, are two interrelated things, because social media sometimes they provide direct definitions and reflected appraisals, all right. For instance, when you are surfing into social media, all right, especially those who are not that actually filtered, they will put traits to certain groups of people and things like that. So they tend to put direct definition, and it is tend to be accepted by the general public. When you have reflected appraisal, all right, when you see how people act, how people present yourself, you tend to have that feeling that you want to be that person. All right. So your perception of others, you want others to have the same perception as you. So how you think others appraise you affects how you see yourself. Right. If you think that people see you as a handsome person, then it will be handsome. Right. You yourself will see yourself as having a good looking, having a good look, a very good looking person. All right. But sometimes it can also be a source of cyberbullying. Excessive portrayal can make you feel uncomfortable when you are being treated or being assigned, all right, certain identity. This person is a very bad person, so cyberbullying can happen over there. And it can also be a source of social comparison, like you are comparing one class to another class, or you are comparing a group of people to another group of people. All right. So when you want to as a guideline for improving self-concept, you must have a firm commitment to personal growth. Right, meaning that you yourself must know what you want to be, what kind of personality you want to portray. All right, and you must gain and use knowledge to support your personal growth. All right, so you need to understand how your self-concept is formed. Right, is it because of your upbringings? Is it because of the society? Is it because of how the people always treat you, how people assign roles onto you, how your family assign roles to you? And you need information about yourself. So in order to gain information about yourself, you sometimes you will practice self disclosure. All right, so what is actually self disclosure? Sometimes you will try to get information about yourself from others. Okay, so you will tend to get that information that others might not discuss, or they maybe know that particular information about you, but they don't want to talk about it to you, or they tend to disclose the information to other people rather than to yourself, or maybe they just keep it to themselves. All right, so this particular information about us is actually crucial in helping us to know how we should act, or what are the things that we should do or we should not do. All right, for example, sometimes we see ourselves as a very we sometimes people have, let me put a bit some a bit of harsh example. We do have body odor, but sometimes we don't know. We think that that is normal, but actually people are uncomfortable with our body odor, things like that. Okay. All right. So in identifying how you should get your information, or how you should gain information, and how you actually have that information, the Johari window concept is used by Joseph Love and Harry Ingham. In Love 1969, they created a model of different sorts of knowledge that affect self-development. So they call the model Johari window, which is the combination of their first name Joe and also Harry. Okay, so Johari is not a Malay or Muslim name. Okay, all right. So looking at this window, we have all right, the the square part here on my left. Okay, we have the column of known to others and also unknown to others. All right. On top of that, we have known to self and also unknown to self, the open area, the hidden area, the blind area, and also the unknown area. Okay. So in the open area, open or public information is known both to us and also to others. Okay. For example, your name, height, major classes, your taste in music. This information probably are open information that you can share easily with others. Okay, looking back at the window, all right, known to self open area. See, um, horizontally, uh, so horizontally it is known to self. Sorry. So looking at it, this particular part will have the column of known to self, and also known to others. Okay, this is the open area, right? The blind area contains information that others know about you, but you don't know about yourself. Okay, for example, others may see that we are insecure, even though we think we've hidden that well. But others may also recognize needs or feelings that we haven't acknowledged to ourselves. Okay, people always see us maybe we see us as a very sad person, always spend time, have our own time, doesn't really mingle around, but we didn't realize that. So this is the area, the blind area, whereby it is unknown to self, okay, but it is well known to others. All right, okay. And the hidden information, okay, or the hidden area, sorry, hidden area is what we know about ourselves but choose not to reveal to most others. Okay, so you might not tell many people about your vulnerabilities or about traumas in your past because you consider some of this information as private information. All right, looking at the Johari window itself. All right, so the column, the square here is directly known to self, under known to self, but on my left, all right, it is unknown to others. Okay, and then we have the last square or the last area, which is the unknown area. All right, the unknown area, which is made up of information about ourselves that neither we nor others know. So this maybe consists of your untapped resources, your untried talents, or your reactions that you didn't know and others didn't know as well. All right, so the unknown area here is congested by the hidden, open, and also blind area. So it is not revealed. It is beyond reach to self and also to others. Okay. All right. So when you disclose yourself or you are having a self disclosure, you use it appropriately. All right. Do not ask too much or do not reveal too much. All right. So you know that you just want to gain some self knowledge, things that you don't know about yourself but apparently known by others. So make sure it is cathartic, or it can help you how do we say this, spiritual renewal, when you know that this particular information about yourself, when you know that you actually smell bad. All right, you will have the move to change your shower habit, change your shampoo, change your bath cream, things like that, and it will also release you from tension. All right, so you have to affirm self definition. All right, you want to know how would you define yourself. All right, and make sure it is ethical. Okay, do not ask things which are very, or do not reveal things which are very private. All right, and increase positive regards in relationship. All right, so make sure in improving your self concept you set goals that are realistic and fair. Okay, so you don't put yourself as, I want to be as fair as like me. I want like Michael Jackson want to be as fair as the other white people. All right, so you are going through procedures, a few operations, putting chemicals into yourself. Do not go beyond that. All right, so seek contacts that support personal change. All right, seek for information, gain knowledge which can help you, can support your personal change by avoiding self-sabotage. Okay, don't tell yourself that you are very ugly, you are very bad, you smells bad, you are very stupid, you don't know things, and that. Do not do self-sabotage. All right, and accept constructive criticism. Okay, if people say that you smell bad, all right, you know that he wanted to help you to improve your way of life, to improve how you are being presented to the public. So these are forms of constructive criticism. Okay, all right, for your assignment, all right, I would like you to choose one of the areas in the Johari window concept or model. Okay, so we have open area, which is known to you, known to others. Hidden area, known to others but not known to you. Blind, oh sorry, hidden area, which is unknown to others but known to you. All right, and the blind area, which is known to others but unknown to you, and also unknown area, which is unknown to anyone. All right, so pick a partner, choose anyone. All right, if you can make contact with your classmates, then that will be good. But if you cannot get your classmate, just ask your mom, dad, husband, wife, girlfriend, boyfriend, sisters, colleagues, anyone, and ask them to share information related to any of the areas chosen. All right. So your interview should be a short and brief one, and it can be submitted through WhatsApp or Telegram or email in forms of videos. Okay. So do videos. Okay, Mr. Ho. Don't forget that. All right. Just videos, short one. Okay. For example, maybe I want to interview my partner on their blind area. Okay, things that are actually known to others but unknown to them. Okay, recently they discovered. Okay, maybe ask them, because if you want to interview them, kalau on the spot you tanya benda apa yang you rasa orang tahu tapi you tak tahu, tak boleh lah kan, dia tak tahu lah. Alright, so for blind area, ask them what was the recent information. Apa maklumat terbaru ni yang actually you don't know about yourself but people tell you. That one. Alright. So kalau open area, the easiest one lah, paling senang. Something that you know, something that other people know. Alright. Or maybe you can get them to share with you the hidden area. Something that they know but they doesn't reveal to others. Or maybe make them speculate, ataupun untuk unknown area ni, apa benda yang dia rasa people know about him. Tapi dia sendiri pun tak confirm about that particular traits. For example, I think for unknown area lah, I think I am handsome. I think people also perceive me as handsome. Macam tu. Okay. Very short video lah, 2 minutes is already enough. Okay. Alright. Thank you so much. So I'll see you next Monday at night for the next topic. I hope you enjoy this. And remember, all of our assignment and videos will be shared in our Google Drive. Okay. Thank you very much. Alright. And have a nice day. Oh, sorry. This particular video will be put in Dropbox, but it will also be uploaded in the YouTube channel, my YouTube channel. So I'm gonna leave you with the link. You can view it through YouTube. But if you want to view it in our Dropbox again, Google Drive, I will leave this particular copy in Google Drive as well. Okay. Thank you very much. I'll see you next week.